And welcome the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri C.P. Radhakrishnan. कृपया राष्ट्रगीत और राष्ट्रगान के लिए अपने स्थान पर खड़े रहें। खेड़ा का भी हार्दिक अभिनंदन करते हैं। साथ ही
% to exports, with 8.8 crore enterprises already registered on the MSME portal, providing employment to 39 crore persons. MSME has become the second largest employer after agriculture. For achieving the vision of Viksit Bharat, the MSME sector would be the engine of growth and the primary catalyst, and the key enablers would be formalization, access to finance, access to technology, industry-grade skilling, access to market, digitalization and infrastructure support. Formalization has been given the topmost priority by our ministry, sir. In fact, it was important to bring these informal micro enterprises within the fold of the formal MSME ecosystem so that the gateway opens up and they are able to access various benefits and schemes being extended by Government of India. And we have been able to achieve 5x growth in the last 3 years. From 1.6 crore, we have reached a figure of 8.8 crores. 40% of the registered MSMEs are women entrepreneurs. In fact, our ministry is implementing a number of schemes in bringing benefits to the MSME sector. The most critical pain point of MSMEs has always been access to credit. I am happy to share that the credit flow to MSME sector has increased by 268% in the last 11 years. We were at 10 lakh crores in 2014 and we have reached a figure of 37 lakh crores this year. There is a general perception that MSMEs are not worthy of credit. This perception is changing. The non-performing assets have been declining steadily. This is something which is a positive indicator for the banks also to extend their credit in the best possible manner. A major policy intervention has been credit guarantees, which government has provided. Almost 13 lakh crore of credit guarantee has been provided in the last few years. While debt financing is undoubtedly a critical enabler, equally important for growth is equity infusion. This concept of Self-Reliant India Fund, this was launched in 2020-2021, and this has been an extremely successful model. We have been able to leverage the strength of the private sector in providing growth capital to high potential MSMEs through this fund. This has been a resounding success. In today's time, technology adoption is no longer optional, it is a business imperative. That is the reason that we have set up 53 technology centers pan-India with the intent to equip them with modern tools, training and innovation support. As technology continues to evolve, enterprises will require a skilled and future-ready workforce. It's equally important to connect MSMEs to domestic and global markets. The ministry is supporting MSMEs to participate in trade fairs and exhibitions. We are also helping them onboard the public procurement process as well as the e-commerce platforms. I'll make a mention of PM Vishwakarma, which is a flagship scheme of our ministry. It is providing a holistic support to artisans from 18 trades. I take pride in sharing some figures from the Khadi and COIR sector, sir. There has been a 4x growth in the export of COIR and COIR products. We have reached more than 6,000 crores now, sir. And for Khadi, there has been a 7x growth in the last 12 years. We have now reached a figure of more than 7,000 crores, sir. A major pillar of policy support is in giving preference to MSEs in public procurement. Today, 50% of the public procurement is being done through the micro and small enterprises. Delayed payments has always been a major bottleneck, particularly impacting the cash flows of the MSME sector. In this regard, the TREADS platform has been really a game changer. There has been an 8-fold increase in numbers and 9-fold increase in discounting volume in the last 4 years. Another major policy intervention for this sector has been the revision in classification and also the limits which had been assigned for investment as well as turnover. This has really incentivized the MSMEs to scale up. Going forward, the sector would continue to play a very pivotal role in our economy. On this day, I compliment all the stakeholders who have assembled here today.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सचिव महोदय। आतिथ्य परंपरा के अगले चरण के लिए मैं मंच पर आमंत्रित करती। राष्ट्रपति जी आपको बताना चाहेंगे कि इस कोंडूरू से को साथ केंद्रीय मंत्री जी को भेंट किया जा रहा है एक पौधा भी। सचिव महोदय से सादर अनुरोध, कृपया रिस्पेक्ट किया जा रहा है। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। To first launch Prime Minister's ये पोर्टल सभी विभागों को समाधान 2.0 पोर्टल Vice President to inaugurate PMS portal, Procurement and Marketing Support portal. To formally launch MSME Global Mart 2.0 portal, जो पहले B2B था, अब B2C है. Testing Center portal. Request Honorable Vice President to launch the multilingual access on MSME portals. Innovation is cornerstone of India's growth story. मैं माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी से आदरपूर्वक विनती करती हूं कि कृपया एमएसएमई आइडिया हैकाथॉन 6.0 का शुभारंभ करें। फ्रंटेड टेक्नोलॉजी आधारित सॉल्यूशन डेवलप करने के लिए नाउ द पोर्टल इज ओपन फॉर सबमिशन ऑफ इनोवेटिव इंडिया फंड के योगदान को रेखांकित करते हुए अनावरण करें। से सादर निवेदन करती हूँ कि कृपया रिमोट का बटन दबाकर पीएम विश्वकर्मा योजना पर भी ई कॉफी टेबल बुक जारी करें। पीएम विश्वकर्मा योजना के 3 वर्ष पूरे के उपलक्ष्य में ही कारीगरों की प्रेरणादायक सफलता की कहानियां इस ई कॉफी टेबल बुक में प्रदर्शित की गई हैं। और अब एक और महत्वपूर्ण लॉन्च, माननीय समय के साथ खादी भी बदल। माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी से सादर निवेदन करती हूं कि कृपया रिमोट का बटन दबाकर खादी और ग्राम उद्योग आयोग के नए उत्पाद लॉन्च करें। ये उत्पाद तैयार किए गए हैं इन्फेंट वेयर, रंगदार टेबल रनर्स एंड मैट्स, वानिया, एमन, खादी बनियो, वूल शॉल और विशेष खादी उत्पाद। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी। नई सोच, नई
और अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का इस चीज़ को हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने देखा, समझा और यही कारण है कि उन्होंने एमएसएमई विभाग को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए आज उद्यत हैं। और ठीक ही कहा गया कि एमएसएमई है हमारे आर्थिक जगत का रीढ़ है। क्या उसका हमारा योगदान है? अभी कहा गया कि क्या हम जीडीपी में करते हैं, क्या हम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में करते हैं, क्या हम ट्रांसपोर्ट में करते हैं, ये सारी बातें कही गई। इसीलिए मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ, ये सब आप जान रहे हैं। इसका मतलब यही होता है कि हमारा एमएसएमई ही ऐसा एक विभाग है जिससे कि हम हर तरह के प्रॉब्लम से हम इंडिया को वार सकते हैं। और यही कारण है कि हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एमएसएमई को जो दूसरे विभाग से अटैच था उसको डिटैच करके सेपरेट विभाग दिया है। और उसमें जब कभी भी बजट की ज़रूरत होती है, यहाँ बजट के लिए कोई कमी नहीं होती है। जब हम लोग मांगते हैं वो बजट देते हैं, तो कहीं जाएंगे ताकि हमको उससे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लाभ मिलेगा। और फिर उसके बाद हमारे यहाँ खादी ग्राम उद्योग भी है, KVIC जिसको कहते हैं, उसके माध्यम से भी हम लोग बहुत बड़ा काम कर रहे हैं। अभी बताया गया होगा आप लोगों को कि साहब यहाँ पर लगभग 172-74 करोड़ या 80 करोड़ के आसपास में हम लोगों ने सेल्स दिया है। ये कोई मामूली बात नहीं है और आगे भी इसकी इकाइयाँ हम लोग खोल करके बढ़ा रहे हैं।
A distinguished statesman, an eminent parliamentarian, and an inspiring public leader, the Honorable Vice President of India has consistently emphasized the importance of entrepreneurship, innovation, and inclusive growth in building a developed India. It is my proud privilege to invite the Honorable Vice President of India, Shri C.P. Radhakrishnan, to address this august gathering. Please welcome.
The United Nations celebrates June 27th every year as Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Day to recognize the extraordinary contribution of MSME across the world. In Bharat, the MSME are much more than an economic category alone. The MSME in Bharat, it represents the courage of a first generation entrepreneur. Most of us who are sitting here may be the first generation entrepreneurs. What Modi ji is talking about, zero tolerance towards quality is a must. When both the minister was very proudly telling, including our secretary was proudly telling, even today, 50% of Indian exports are from MSME because we are maintaining the quality. So I requested Kalnaj Mishra ji, you have to drastically change the limits. If you want to encourage the small people, we can add one more section in MSME that cottage industry also should be encouraged. See, somebody should start. Yes, I started with 25,000. That time, it was not, of course, it is a good money at that time, 78, but it is not a very big money. So I started as a small, with only 6 stitching machines. So I have to grow. I have grown. Like that, we want to encourage every section of the MSME. So I told them we can encourage cottage industry also. But we don't want the cottage industry entrepreneur should be the cottage industry entrepreneur till his death. We want to grow him. Cottage industry entrepreneur should become small scale industry entrepreneur, small scale industry entrepreneur should become medium scale, and from medium scale he should promote himself to a larger scale. So nothing should be stagnant. Then very serious thoughts have been given to MSME sector, how to improve the limitations. I told them, if they have to import one single lathe, it is costing 100 crores. Then only they can match to the requirements of the industry. So many big car companies have come. So what was the car production in India before Maruti comes in? Ambassador and Fiat only was there. If you take one Ambassador car, you have to send it first to the garage. New Ambassador car, you are paying money and taking that Ambassador car. That Ambassador car has to be first sent to the garage for proper welding everywhere. There will be bend. That bend has to be taken up because it was all old dye. That has never been changed because there is no need to change because they can take you for granted for the payment that you may supply the goods and you are in the queue for the payments. That's also come to an end. So my humble request to all of you is, and both the ministers and the secretary, my humble request is, make this MSME registration a compulsory for every industry, every sector of the industry. Because everything is based on the data available to your ministry. Fund allocation, what is to be done, how many clusters have to be created in each area. All these things, you can do it, you can plan it, you can implement it only with the data. So my humble request to all the MSME people who are sitting here, you make an awareness that every MSME should register themselves with the MSME ministry so the proper data will reach them, sector wise, industry wise. That will make MSME ministry to understand your problems, to understand your needs in a better way. You should not think why formality, by registering with the government, what I am going to get. Anyway, I am getting everything from my bank by mortgaging my asset only. You should not think like that. Your data make their job much easier to understand your problems. So MSME sector should be more vibrant in the coming years too. For that, I am thankful to the ministry for adding dynamism in making the required changes then and then. That's why the growth of MSME is so much in our country. No single sector, MSME is not against big industry. Rather, cottage industry is not against MSME. We are doing our job at our levels. So everything has to be encouraged, but nothing should be stagnant. This is what I want to insist on my speech. I am always saying that this UN theme on this day is human-centered entrepreneurship is an AI-driven future. That is the concept they want to give. Again, so many people are so much of afraid what this AI will do. If AI comes, so much of people will be losing their job. We may not be that pessimistic. This is my humble request to all of you. When the computer got introduced in our country, so many people thought this is only for well-developed countries like Western Europe and America. It is not for us where the population is so much, the job opportunity we will be losing. But when the computer get introduced, the software becomes the strongest area of India. We produce more jobs through the computer technology than what it was previously. Like that, AI is also modern technology coming up. We have to adopt it. We have to use all the modern technology for uplifting our productivity, production, quality. We cannot keep away from the modern technological developments. If that is the case, then we will be left out. So, new changes will come. We have to adopt all the new good changes. We have to identify whether the change is good or bad. Then we have to adopt all the good changes. That is the only way that our MSME can go to the next level. And it is very impressive that contributions of MSME is being felt by the Indian economy so much today. All the figures have been given by both our ministers as well as by our secretary. So I am not going into these figures again. The business and environment reforms of our Honorable PM Sriman Narendra Modi ji have transformed MSMEs as the silent architects of our nation's progress. This is not a word just for feel happy. This is the reality. That's what we understand from the great contribution of the MSME. They have now become one of the strongest pillars. Yes, MSME become the strongest pillar of our collective journey towards Viksit Bharat by 2047. And I am sure how to improve it, how to utilize it in a better way, that suggestions also should be given to the MSME. because you are in the field. You know the difficulties better than the administrative people, because you are facing the difficulty in the field. So how to improve it? How to utilize every chance? How to maintain the quality? Congratulate the National Small Industries Corporation on its elevation to a Schedule A company. On the figures from how non-performing asset has come down from a high level to the low level today. For that, we have to understand the history of our MSME. Any MSME has to be taken care by the family only. 99.9% of the MSME is run by the family entrepreneurs. Son has to take over. Not all the old MSMEs has been taken over by the sons. By the time they have reached their middle age, they don't know whether they have to go for modernization. A request both to the ministers, you should take up the non-performing assets with the finance ministry. We should come with one single Samadhan scheme by all the banks, so that MSME people can pay back the loan with some concessions and they can get out of their troubles. This is my humble request to you today. So on the outset, MSME sector is doing wonderfully well. The achievements of KADI and the achievements of KOIR board has been very well presented in the presentation, video presentation. Great milestone of great contribution for the economical growth of India, and your participation and contribution should go further from here. You should take the MSME to the next level with all your efforts. I am sure you will take it. With this, I wish you all every success in your all new endeavors. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.